This monsoon, the Himalayas have spoken loudly. Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, two states that draw visitors for their scenic beauty and spiritual roots, have once again faced intense rains, sudden cloudbursts, flash floods and landslides that tore apart homes, roads and lives. The 2025 season stands out not just because of the scale of damage, but because of how clearly it shows the pattern that will repeat unless we change course. From late June through August, multiple rounds of heavy, short-duration rainfall battered the western Himalayan arc. Entire stretches of highway were washed out, mountain slopes collapsed, and river levels surged downstream. Scores of villages were isolated when roads and bridges failed, orchards and terrace farms were buried under silt. Local authorities and rescue teams worked around the clock, but the human and economic losses were extensive. Pilgrimage routes were affected. Authorities suspended parts of the Kedarnath and Char Dam circuits when roadside failures made movement unsafe. Why do these disasters feel different? More extreme rainfall. A warming atmosphere can hold more moisture, which means storms have more fuel. Instead of steady rain, we increasingly see violent, short bursts that deliver a month's rain in hours. Saturated slopes. The Himalayan range is geologically young and steep. Once soils become waterlogged, slopes lose cohesion and are prone to sudden failures. Unplanned development. Roads, tunnels, hydropower works often involve large cuts and disposal of spoil. Without slope reinforcement, they increase landslide risk. Rivers and seasonal streams are being hemmed in by development, reducing their natural room to spread and forcing higher peak flows into built environments. When thousands of pilgrims travel narrow valley roads during monsoon, a single landslide can become a multi-casualty event. The immediate toll in lives and livelihoods is the most visible cost. Hundreds of people, many families, have lost loved ones. Thousands more were temporarily displaced, and millions of rupees of crops, orchards and local businesses were damaged when rivers surged through market towns. Infrastructure damage is severe. Bridges and approach roads were swept away, retaining walls failed along key highway stretches, and local schools and health centers were disrupted. The impacts rippled downstream. Plains regions saw swollen rivers and emergency releases from barrages, amplifying flood risk far from the original hill rainfall. If we read the signs, they are clear. Rainfall patterns are shifting towards short, intense bursts. Rivers and valleys are part of a single system. Disturbances in high catchments cascade into plains floods. Nature is signaling that extremes are rising, and our current exposure makes those extremes far deadlier. The way forward: smarter weather alerts. Forecasts must reach local authorities and villagers in time to act. Stronger mountain roads with slope protection and proper drainage. Risk-sensitive land use. Mark hazard zones as no-build areas. Introduce e-permits linked to weather thresholds. Respect rivers, preserve functional floodplains. Smarter infrastructure planning with basin-level impact assessments. Finance resilience, expand insurance for floods and landslides. Empower communities, equip villages with tools and train them to recognize slope failure signs. Lessons from 2025. Kedarnath Yatra suspension, a life-saving decision. Mountain floods give Delhi a 48-hour window to act. The Himalayas are not against us. They are fragile guardians sending warnings with each storm. If India invests in smarter systems and resilient infrastructure, the next monsoon doesn't have to cost hundreds of lives. The question is, will we be ready this time?